Radio Bypass, bringing you rock and roll music that deserves to be heard. Discover new bands. Here's some old favorites on Radio Bypass.
Hey, Radio Bypass. Today I am so happy to have a returning guest. Been a while since we've talked to this young man, but he first came on our radar in 2020, and we talked about the state of rock and roll and a young generation keeping it going. And his band, Red Voodoo, has been doing exactly that. When Dino was first here, it was still high school for him. And now 5 years later, still out there rocking, still a young band, and a lot's happened since the last time Dino's stopped by Radio Bypass, and this is our first time doing it via video. So I'm really happy to welcome Dino Wild from Red Voodoo. Welcome back to Radio Bypass, Dino.
Hey, thank you so much, Ralph. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure, man. It's good to catch up. We haven't talked for a while. I've come and seen the band a few times, but I haven't talked to you. So I'm glad to catch up with you.
Of course. Thank you. Glad to be here.
So let's talk about this release, I guess, a little bit, because people need to see how pretty this is. First time on vinyl, I believe, for anything Red Voodoo related.
I think the first person that's ever opened up the vinyl live on camera.
You got to see it. It's beautiful. So maybe a little bit dusty because I didn't clean it beforehand. But yeah, beautiful to see this. And I loved when I opened it. I should have known it would be red vinyl, but I didn't know. And I saw red vinyl. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Red Voodoo and red vinyl. I love it. And this is the first and only vinyl piece of Red Voodoo music.
Yes, first and only vinyl piece. And that was really cool. We have that in the CD right now. And it's the debut 5-song EP recorded in San Francisco. So that was really, really cool for us we're based in Sacramento, but we recorded it with Sammy Hagar's producer, which is really fun to do. Took 7 days.
7 days.
Yeah.
Wow. It's pretty fast work, actually.
Yeah. That's very true. When we go and cut, we have about 30 songs ready to go for an album. And we might record that in Michigan, but we'll see.
Gotcha. Well, when we talked the very first time back in the lovely pandemic year of 2020, you guys had been working with Frank Hannon at that point.
Yes.
And you had told us, a lot of things that you learned from Frank about songwriting and things like that. Now you fast forward to working on this with Sammy's folks. Did you learn some new things?
Oh, yeah, totally. When we worked with Frank, it was a lot of songwriting, of course. Tesla's great songs. We kind of used what Frank taught us. And when we worked with Jameson, it was a lot of, it was our first time in a big studio. You see, Frank's home studio, this was a big studio. Train recorded there. The Grateful Dead recorded all their albums there, So we really got a really cool experience into a big studio and how it all worked. So that was very eye-opening and very cool. A lot of history there.
Gotcha. Well, good. So you get to learn a little bit more, and obviously you've been getting to hone your craft live because you play down here quite a bit. But more, and since we've talked last, though, you've done a lot. You've played at Cabo Wabo, with Sammy. You played at a Vegas thing with him for something. I forget exactly what it was. You could tell us about that. And you've been out east, and you've been in the Midwest. So tell us some of your highlights.
Yeah, no, it's been great. It's been 5 years, so it's been a long time. So I'm gonna try to do like a real quick highlight reel of everything.
There you go.
With Sammy, when Sammy caught wind of us in 2020, 2021, he started hiring the band to come do shows with him and Mike, to be charity events, openings for his various business ventures, to play the Cabo Wabo. Funny enough, coming back to the record, Sammy Hagar's friend Guy Fieri actually basically funded our record, that record that you got on vinyl and CD. We played his birthday party in Sebastopol, California, and it was super, super cool. Lots of people, Raiders, football players were there. Lars from Metallica, we got to chat with him for a bit.
Nice.
Brad Wilk, the drummer for Rage Against the Machine, we played a song with him because Guy asked us to learn it prior to the party. But with the funds that we were hired for the show, we used that for our record. So that was really, really cool, and we jammed with Sammy on that show. But other than that, more recently, we've gotten the opportunity to open up for some really cool people. We did a little run a couple weeks ago on the East Coast with Winger, and that was super, super fun. And then we played our very first festival, which was the M3 Rock Festival, and on Saturday,
Nice.
which David Roth headlined on that day. So that was really, really cool. And got to play our first festival, and that was in Maryland. And then we just got back 2 weeks ago from Decatur, Illinois, opening up for Bret Michaels and his band. So we had a good time out there. But yeah, we're getting the ball rolling. We're going out at the end of the month to Ohio, playing a show, and then the next night in St. Charles, Illinois.
Oh, the
yeah,
Arcata.
yes,
That,
yes,
that's my homeland there, my friend. Been there
yeah.
billions of times. You'll love
But
it.
it's great. We're touring, and we get to open up for legendary acts that we look up to. So we're very, very honored and very fortunate. So we're excited to show people what we got.
That's awesome. Well, it seems like as people find you, they're loving you, because I think I saw a quote from the recent Bret Michaels thing where he was talking about how great you guys were too.
Oh yeah, it was really cool meeting him and his whole team, and he invited us up to do Sweet Home Alabama. I guess that's a running thing with the opening bands that Bret likes to do, and I have, believe it or not, I've never sang Sweet Home Alabama. I didn't know the words of Sweet Home Alabama. So, and I love the song, right? Everyone loves that song. But I was sitting there. He told us 10 minutes before he went on to play, and then we played like an hour. So I'm sitting there backstage in the green room writing the lyrics. There's like 3 verses to that song, And I'm like, all right, Watergate, something. But got it figured out.
From way before you were born.
Yeah. Memorized it. We went out there and it was fun. It was a super good time. So, yeah, it would be really cool if we could open for Bret. Really cool if we could open up for Poison. I've been hearing talks of a 40th anniversary tour. So
Right, I heard that too for next year. Yeah.
yeah. So, but Bret really liked us. So who knows?
Good. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you got these dates, and then you got dates around the Sacramento area too this summer, of course.
Yes.
And still spreading the word about this. I'm gonna hold it up here again. What else is cooking in Red Voodoo land?
Yeah, man. So not only are we touring, but now I've learned that All Night Long is now charting on the active rock radio I saw, and on
Excellent.
classic rock. So now we're kind of putting our feet in the water with radio right now, which is very, very cool. But we also have like 30. We've been writing. 3 years of writing. We have about 30 songs. 30, I would say, put together quality songs. I know you're going to be coming to some of the Sacramento shows. We're going to be playing all the new ones. So you'll get to hear them live, and it'll be great. Super, super good. As far as direction, very, very Van Hagar, very Bad Company, very, Aerosmithy, all into one.
That's what you guys excel at.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of honing, we're kind of going in like how I think of it with Red Voodoo is, as far as songwriting, is like vibes. What kind of feel do I want you to like go out and kick some ass somewhere? Do I want you to, fall in love with the girl over there? Do I want you to, experience heartbreak? That's the kind of thing. So we kind of just went off with these 30 songs in all these different directions and seeing, how the crowd has been reacting. And it's really cool. I've been getting comments on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok of people actually going in there and saying, hey, when are you going to release this unreleased song that you played at the Bret Michaels
show? Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow, they're really picking up on that, which is super, super cool. So that's encouraging, and going, okay, maybe that's the single, maybe,
Sure.
So it gets us really excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is great to hear. Yeah. And yeah, I think you guys should get a new record out for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you can do it this year.
We'll see.
It's only June. Got half a year left.
That is very true. We gotta start. I gotta start pulling money out of my check.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
It is.
I'd let you come to this little room, but we wouldn't get a good drum sound in here.
we'll have to go to a big old like hall or something. No, and we're an independent band, so we're not with a label or a management or anything like that right now. Um, it's kind of good being in control of your own world, so to speak. No one's owning you, but you know, as we progress, hopefully, if help comes or if representation shows up and it's cool, then cool.
Right. Well, I know you guys try hard. I see, you're active on social media, which, nowadays is obviously
The whole
important.
game.
So, yeah, I know you guys are working hard, and I admire that you've, stuck it out, because when I first met you in 2020, that was my only worry, being that you were so young that you guys might not stick together. Now you
Yeah.
had some change on the drumming throne,
Yes.
bass and guitar and yourself. You guys have stayed together, which is great.
Right. Right. And I mean, I guess through this 5 years, um, it's a lot of growing pains. You know what I mean? Just
Sure.
with anything. And we learned a lot. And I think we came back stronger. And we're like, all right, here we go. Let's do it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, we're just a moving train now. So full speed ahead.
That's great. Well, and everybody, when you see this, um, if you get the chance, especially now that I know you're going back to the Chicagoland area
Yeah.
too, make sure you check them out, because I can attest. I've seen several shows since I moved to Sacramento in 2021. Seen these boys play a lot. I've seen just Dino and Drew also just do your own couple of acoustic type shows.
Yeah.
Um, and they're the real deal. They're great. There's a reason Sammy Hagar talks about how great they are, um, and more recently Bret Michaels, because it's true. Anybody that's into that 70s, 80s rock, that if you're watching this show and checking this out, that's probably what you're into, because that's what I'm all about. They are bringing it back, as their song says, and trying to keep it alive for another generation. So you gotta check Red Voodoo out live. And that's the other thing that I've been impressed, Dino, is that it's definitely not just studio stuff. Like, as much as I love how everything sounds recorded, you guys bring it live too. And because you're still young, you got so much energy on
Yeah.
stage too. It's contagious. It's fun to watch you guys.
100%. I think, I know we were talking about getting to my generation before we went on air. I think it's something to be said about live, just live music in general. You know what I mean? Because now with AI and you can write songs on AI, that's terrible. That's terrible to every artist on the planet.
It's,
It is. It is. And like, I think when anyone, any age, whatever, sees a band, that's the human connection where they really connect, on an emotional level and go, man, I want to invest in this, I want to invest my time into this band. So
Mhm.
yeah, you have to bring it live, because that's where music really is going 10, 20, 30 years from now. The only straight line is going to be live music, honestly.
Right. Yeah. Let's hope anyway that AI doesn't
Yeah.
take over live music.
Ah,
It
right.
it can't. It can't.
No way. No
You know.
way. You know what? I could tell what AI is like that right now, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. I've used it a couple of times, because I got all these different things that now all have AI components to them, including the Zoom that we're talking on right now.
But is it
All
really?
got these AI
It,
things. And so a couple of times I've tried, like, you have a very cool sticker you guys made here, right?
not
And
AI.
not AI. That's what I was
Not
going to
AI.
say. So a couple of times I said, oh, let me just see if it makes something radio bypass,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
just to see what it looks like.
Right.
And I look at it, and then I look at behind me on that other screen is the logo that I had a real true human make.
Right.
Friend of mine back in Chicago, Mark Colano, great graphic artist. And you look at the stuff AI does, and it just doesn't compare to these kind
Nope.
of things. There's just
Not at all. Not at
no
all.
comparison.
Yep. Yep. And maybe that's just the human aspect of art. You know what I mean? You could just tell it like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I hope it stays that way, because that's what makes it fun and interesting to
It's
me. If it's all machines all the way for everything, it's just, you know,
right. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
But so you're coming to the so that as far as local shows go, we have in Roseville, California. We have that show coming up in June this month.
The 17th, I believe, is
17th. Yeah, you got it. You got
yeah.
it. On the 17th, and then on the 26th, we're at one of our favorite spots, Del's Pizza, locally, and we're doing a little acoustic showcase there. So we're gonna have a good time, and it's fun. Those shows are fun to kind of strip it down, and but no, you'll be hearing all the new originals on the 17th show.
Good.
It's free. Both shows are free.
I'm going to try to make that Dell's Pizza too, because I know you've played there several times.
Yeah.
And Aaron Lee has played there as well.
Yes.
I haven't made it to any of those. I want to check this place out. And
I'll save you a seat. I'll save you a seat. You text Jody. I'll save you a seat for sure if you'd like to come.
Nice. Yeah. No, I would, because like I said, I've been wanting to see that place anyway, and I just haven't made it down there. And if you're going to do acoustic, that would be kind of fun, because I think you guys do a nice job. Will that be all of you or just
all four?
Okay.
We do it like a full MTV Unplugged. Yeah.
Gotcha. And your current drummer is also not on this record.
No, that was yeah.
Introduce your current drummer. What's your current drummer's name?
Richie Moreno. Richie Moreno. He's from Stockton, California. Same age as the rest of the guys, and he's a beast, man. You know, I think you did see him at the Dead Daisy show. That was Richie.
What was it him? Because I thought it was this young man. No,
that was not him. It was Richie. Richie was.
Okay. And I guess I did see him once then.
Yeah.
So how did you guys connect?
So that was connecting just through social media. That was just through social media, and he was finishing up high school, and he was looking for a band to be a drummer in. And I was like, "Hey, man, want to come audition?" He's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And and he actually, it was just his 1-year anniversary, I think, like a couple of days ago.
So it has been a year already. Wow.
Been a year, yeah.
I lose track of time. Okay. Then, it must have been then, like you said, who I saw. Well, I want to see him again, because I'm definitely confused in my head then. But that's cool. So now that you got him, because like I was kidding you before we started recording a little bit about I was going to make fun of you with the Spinal Tap of Drummer situation. Because that's been the only thing that's not been constant since we first met. And obviously, you got your reasons why you changed drummers. But do you feel now you've got the cohesive fit you're looking for?
I think with bands and with anything in life, it's about chemistry. If you don't have the chemistry with all 4 members, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? And I think it's, same with a marriage, And not only do we have the chemistry now, but we also have just the musical chemistry as well, I feel like chemistry between members is the most important. Second most important is being cohesive as a group. When you see us next, even the year ago, whatever, with the Dead Daisies.
Oh, it was a great set.
It was a great set. I know.
My daughter loved it.
Yeah, so that was a great
high
set.
praise.
But now we've really built a show. Now it's like a full, show production, I've taken some notes from bands. Now we each have kind of like a solo, so to speak. Not so much a solo where it's like 10 minutes, go get a beer, but more like, a showcase in a way of each member. You know what I mean? So it's really cool. I think you're really going to dig, just all the new songs, new sound, everything. And anyone who's watching, you'll see those all posted on YouTube or, anywhere on social media. You could check them out. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, you guys are good about keeping things up to date, and also redvoodoo.com.
Yes,
do a good job keeping that up to date.
RedvoodooBand.com.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, band. You're right.
You're okay, I couldn't get the Red Voodoo.
I'll put all that in a scroll on this interview too.
Oh yeah, I know. You're good.
Yeah, redvoodooBand.com. You're right.
Yeah, I couldn't get the Red Voodoo fast enough. It was already taken by a belt brand or something like that.
Hang on a second. My DAW thing just came up with wanting to run an update. I got to make sure it doesn't run. Okay. Kind of weird when updates want to happen while you're using the product.
You're doing that after the fact.
Yes. Yeah. This little Apollo twin wants some kind of an update. But anyway, but yeah, no, I can attest, like I said, Red Voodoo Live is fantastic. When is the Arcada show again? When are you going to St. Charles? In July?
July 5th. July
July
5th.
5th.
Day
Okay.
after 4th of July. Yep.
Great.
That's
So
what
all
we.
my Chicago buddies, go support these young men, would you? Go out there and check them out. Is that going to be at the Arcada
Yep.
itself? You know?
Yep. At the Arcada, we're opening up for King's X.
Oh, what a great band that is too.
No, we're stoked. We're stoked. I haven't heard of them before we got the show, so I've been really listening to all their stuff and doing a deep dive, and they're badass, man. They're
They,
great.
they sure are. They sure are. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so happy for you. That's great.
Yeah, no, that's good. But we have some shows coming up. We're opening up for Foghat. We're opening up for. We're working on a show with Rat right now. Just we're just kind of the agency we're with. They're just throwing us on with any bands that there's a slot to open for, and we're like, let's do it. Let's.
Good. Good. Any thoughts of climbing in a van and just going town to town, doing your own shows and clubs?
Oh well, that's the thing is I think the plan right now in my head is we do enough dates where we open so people know us. We get the exposure out there doing these fly out dates. Then we'll get in a van and we'll support our own headline tour. But yeah, right now it's all about just creating awareness. It's
Right.
the main deal, and as many people get at one time, it'll be easier when we do our own headline tour to get those people returning in those cities and states.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense. Good. Good. Well, anything else we should know? Any other things to update us on since it's been a while since we talked?
Well, I could, if we, we could be here for days updating you on 5 years, but just everything. You know what I mean? But no, I think that's the gist of it, man. And all your listeners out there, if you listen to Red Voodoo, thank you. If you don't listen to Red Voodoo, go listen to Red Voodoo. Go check us out.
And I second that motion. Now we can't just have a talk. We've got to play some music. So I was thinking of adding two songs to the end of our conversation.
Cool.
But I thought I'd let you pick them. What
Oh, okay.
should
All
we
right.
add?
All right. Let's do All Night Long and let's do Style. Let's do those two.
All right, all night long, right
Style
now.
has the video. All Night Long we're promoting right now. So.
And getting some airplay, which is great.
And I'm getting some airplay, which is great. And who knows? Maybe we'll try to tackle Style next.
Yeah, good, good. All right, awesome. Well, I will add those at the end of this. So everybody, don't leave. If you're not familiar with Red Voodoo already, although if you follow this show, you should be because I've played everything they do and will continue to do so for as long as I'm doing this show because I love Red Voodoo. And I've gotten to know you a little bit, gotten to know David a little bit, and you're nice young men, so I enjoy talking with you guys.
I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, we've been talking to Dino Wild. I'm pointing to your name showing up here.
Boom.
From Red Voodoo. Dino's the lead singer and is single-handedly going to keep working on bringing real rock and roll back to the masses. And I know you'll get there. I know you will.
Thank you.
And then stick around right now, guys. We're going to crank up the first song Dino picked, All Night Long, and then we're going to go right into Style. So enjoy some Red Voodoo music. Support these guys, redvoodooband.com. If you're in the Sacramento area, come join me in Roseville, California, and Dell's Pizzas in Fair Oaks,
Yes.
if I remember correctly. Come join me for those shows in July. My Chicago friends, go check them out with King's X at the Arcada. We all love that place anyway. So go check these guys out. Get there early. Don't show up at King's X time. Show up in stage time for Red Voodoo. And, it's been great catching up with you. Thanks for coming back to Radio Bypass.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, let's rock. Red Voodoo. All night long, right now.